The year is 2017. An 18-year-old Denis Shapovalov is playing the great one, Rafa Nadal, and this happened.
From one great one to one great performance.
Honestly, it's really tough to
Denis Shapovalov shocks Rafa Nadal back in 2017 at the National Bank Open presented by Rogers here in Montreal, where I am this week. I have a press credential and we are covering the tournament in depth. And we just spoke to Shapovalov yesterday. But this all made me reminisce about that moment, which was one of the great Canadian tennis moments, really. It was kind of the beginning of that era of this generation of Canadian tennis players, Shapovalov, Felix, Bianca Andreescu. That was kind of maybe the kickoff moment for when we knew that we had something special brewing in Canada. In front of a packed house in Montreal, Denis Shapovalov comes out and beats the king, finishing it with a big lefty forehand down the line. So let's just go through this point again and see how he did it. So lefty versus lefty, that is what made this a really unique and special matchup. Shapovalov with the big weapons that had hurt Nadal all day. Nadal dumps it short, and that free-flowing lefty forehand that we've seen do so much damage comes through, gets through Nadal, and ends the match.
honestly, it's really tough to
And
speak
Wayne
after a win
Gretzky
like
was
that.
in the crowd. I mean, you can't make it any more Canadian. You can't make it any more great in Canada than having Wayne Gretzky in the crowd supporting you when that happens. So, yeah, that's just a reminiscing on a great moment for Canada for Denis Shapovalov. And 7 years later, essentially, we're in a different spot in tennis. Rafa's almost heading out. His body is really at the end of its career, it seems like. And Denis Shapovalov's now in the middle part of his career, trying to find his footing again at the top of the tennis world. But that was a little recap into what makes Denis Shapovalov special, the way he can hit through anyone. And that type of tennis in that point that we saw right there is the type that will get him back to the top. So that was a little highlight back from the National Bank Open presented by Rogers in Montreal. I'm here this week. We're having a great time. So stay tuned to The Slice. Make sure you subscribe to be caught up on all the Canadian tennis content and pro tennis content around the world. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.